Hi, welcome to my presentation 10.1, Health Belief Model. My name is Rachel Anderson, and I am going to be sharing on exercise and using the Health Belief Model to help people decide to enjoy exercise. When you hear the word exercise or the word physical activity, if you're like me, you think of boring PE classes or professional athletes, and maybe you even think of running endless laps around a track and trying to meet absurd times to beat the mile, so to speak. But I think it's really important that we consider exercise. If you're like me, also, you might struggle a little bit with depression. Perhaps you have a lot of stress in your life, or you have anxiety, or perhaps your blood sugar is off. For various reasons, you might have certain health conditions that are making it so that you have a shorter lifespan. Perhaps your heart is out of shape, or perhaps you have a genetic condition which causes you to have higher cholesterol. It's also possible that your muscle tone isn't that great, and you're finding out as you get older, you're feeling a little bit weaker. It's also possible that your pelvic floor is just not in great shape. So, how bad can it be? Well, studies are showing us, and the research shows us, that when we don't exercise, our lifespan actually tends to be shorter. We have higher rates of cancer, we have higher rates of heart disease, higher rates of lung disease. We lose our ability to move, which over time can be really detrimental as we enter the later years of our life. They also show us that we have an increased risk of mental health issues. People who don't exercise tend to have higher rates of stress, anxiety, and depression, even when you take out the other parameters that might be making it hard to get exercise. When we exercise, we experience a lot of benefits. A lot of people report an improved mood, even during the exercise period and right afterward. This is because exercise helps your body to produce adrenaline and other hormones that make you feel better. Exercise helps improve our blood flow and it helps lower our blood pressure. Even in people who have high blood pressure in pregnancy or in other like essential hypertension where they just are genetically prone to high blood pressure, exercise helps lower those numbers. Exercise lowers blood sugar. In type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, exercise has been shown to lower the blood sugar numbers of those people. Exercise lowers the bad cholesterol and helps raise up the good cholesterol so that your overall triglyceride numbers are really good. And exercise lowers the lifetime health risk of each individual who does it, even when you separate other factors which might be causing health risks. So most of us, our reason for not exercising is because we're mostly too busy. Most of us have a lifestyle that keeps us running from can see to can't see. We wake up in the morning, we're getting out the door, we're running to work, we're taking care of children. We might have other family that we're obligated to help out. We have volunteer activities, work activities, and all sorts of things. And beyond that, we might just feel really stressed and we might not feel like we can get out the door at all to do any sort of movement. There's also a lot of social pressures around us to meet up to some sort of expectation that's completely unrealistic, causing us to really be too busy. And then there's this thing that food is so good. If you're like me, you really like to eat. And in reality, I like to eat so much that I really should exercise. So here's some signs that you should exercise. Are you breathing? If you're alive and in the world today, you should be exercising. You should be moving your body in some way. Can you move in any way whatsoever? There are all types of ways to start to become active. Don't imagine that becoming active involves running or high intensity interval training or something contortionist movement that you feel like you're supposed to attain. It can be as little as lightweight weightlifting. It could be swimming. It could be being on a bicycle. It could be walking. It could be getting out into your yard and doing a little bit of gardening. It doesn't have to be complicated to get you moving and to improve your health. Perhaps you're looking at this and thinking, actually, I'd like to improve your health. That's a great sign that you need to start moving. Even if movement is part of your life, it's possible that you need to increase your movement and you want to enjoy life. The number one reason people start to exercise and start to get moving is because they want to enjoy life for somebody who's important to them. Perhaps you have a child or a friend or a relative, and you want to be able to be there for them throughout the rest of their life and your life. Movement is a great way to get started on being able to enjoy life. So physical fitness, what is it? What does it mean to be physically active? First of all, make sure whatever activity you want to do is really achievable. Don't be sitting on the couch and saying, I'm going to go from couch to marathon, like a lot of the apps want to tell you have to do. That might not be achievable for you. Only you and your healthcare provider can decide what's completely and totally achievable for you. So think about, what could you do today? Could you walk for 5 minutes? Perhaps you could just take a gallon of milk out of the fridge and do a few arm curls. Any movement is achievable for most people. What's accessible to you? Some of us have lots of expendable income and can go to the gym. The rest of us, we don't have that income. We can't go to the gym. So make sure whatever you're feeling like would be really good is accessible to you. Perhaps there's a park nearby that you can walk at. Perhaps you only have the space of your 1-bedroom apartment to exercise in. So you might want to look into videos that are online that are for small spaces. What's attainable? Let's be realistic. I am never going to be an NFL football player. I don't have that kind of skill, but I can aim to improve the number of steps I put in a day. I can aim to improve the number of push-ups I do. So what's attainable for you? There's a certain level of fitness that's probably attainable, and aiming for that helps you have a good goal. Also, finally, what is actionable? Again, you might have certain restrictions in your life that keep you from being able to move in ways that I can move. And that's okay. Just do what's actionable. Do what you can actually do and take action to improve your fitness. Here are my references in case you're wondering where I got my information from. As you can see, these are all respectable studies and organizations showing that physical activity and exercise are really good for you.